Okay, we're back. We're just going to continue on. I'll unpause the game. Okay, so upgrades. We're going to get both. These are $1 billion each, so we're going to get them both up to level 5. And I'm going to get this guy here. I think I can get him twice, maybe? No, just once. What I'm going to do before I switch over is I'm going to get this guy up one more time, and I'm going to get this perpetual upgrade. So that's about 6 billion. You know what? I'm not going to get the duration. I don't need the duration. I'm just going to go for the perpetual or the infinite cell. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with this guy. I'm just going to go for this one. So now they'll auto replace, and I think I have everything that I need. Now all I need to do is save up enough to get an array, or I need 4 of these vents here with 1 of these. So let's say they cost 750 million each. I'm going to say that they round them up to $1 billion. So I need 4 billion for that, another billion for that. So I need, let's say, about 6-7 billion, and then I can switch over. Okay, I have my 6 billion. So all I'm going to do is hover over the cell. I'm going to hold down Shift and then right click to remove all of them. And then the same thing for the rest of the components. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in my array. And I am going to add in some tier 3 capacitors, leaving space for more arrays in between them. And this is just going to make it so that each of the vents can hold more power, hold more heat. The more capacitors I have, the more heat a vent can hold. So I'm going to pull out my calculator, and I have 4 vents, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to take the number that's right up here, and if I actually click on this, I'm going to take this number right here and multiply that by the number of vents that I have. And this is only applicable, if the numbers that I see here, so this is level 5, and this is level 5, this only works if both of those numbers are the same for both sets. It has to be this one, this number here has to be the same as this one, and this number here has to be the same as this one. These two can be different, but these two have to be the same, and these two have to be the same. So like I said, I'm going to take this number and multiply it by the number of vents I have, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 times 143.057. It doesn't matter if it's in millions, billions, or trillions. You'll know what it is just by looking at the number you have. And that gives me a total heat output that I can put into my system of 572 million. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Options. I'm going to hit Export, so that way if my reactor blows up, I can just put it back to the way it was. And I'm going to start adding in these cells. And I'm going to look at this number right here, because this is how much heat's currently in my system. So right now I have 16.694 out of 572. And I'm just going to keep adding cells until I get close to that 572. I'm going to upgrade one of these so that way it starts selling that power down. I'm going to do another one and then continue adding those cells. By adding these 2 capacitors in, I have increased this, but I'm not going to worry about that for now because I don't want to have to calculate it every single time I add one of them in. So I'm just going to use 572 as the number that I'm working with right now, even though I could go a little bit more. Okay, that's close enough for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the rest of the arrays all the way across, and then I'll recalculate. So there's the vents, and now I'll do the outlets. And if I have any cash, I have a whole bunch of cash. I'm not going to really need it for the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get one of these selected, hold shift down, and replace as many of these as I can. And I got most of them done. And because I'm so close to the end, what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually just going to finish them off. So I got 2 more to do, 1 more. Okay, so now I'm just going to recalculate. I know I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outlets surrounded by 4 vents each, which gives me a total of 24 vents. So I multiply that 24 by how much heat each vent can hold, which is 179.496, gives me a total of 4.3 billion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a buffer in between my cells and my arrays. And I'm just going to add in these cells here. And I'm going to check out what upgrades I can get. So I can get this for 10 billion. I'm going to go ahead and get that. I can get this for 2.5 billion, and I can get another one for 25 billion. That is the last time I'm going to upgrade this guy. Now I'm going to start working on the next cell. So I'm pretty sure that I'm getting close to being able to upgrade both. So I need 85 billion to upgrade both of that. So that's what I'm going to do. $85 billion, get both of them up to level 6, and I'm going to recalculate how much heat I can take. So I have 24 vents times the number up there, which is 215.396, gives me a total heat output of 5.16 billion. I'm going to export, and I'm going to add in a couple of these guys to see how close. So I'm up to almost a billion, 1.3 billion, 1.8, and I'm just going to keep adding them until I get close. Okay, I have 6 cells now, so what I'm going to do, rather than adding in another cell, which will only increase my maximum by what, like 16, 17%, instead I'm going to double the amount that I'm getting for them by going and getting this first upgrade. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to save up. Since 200 billion is really close, I'm going to actually save up and get that one as well. So I've tripled the power that each of these is putting out. I'm going to export, and I'm going to add in 1 or 2 more of these guys. So up to 3.6, 4.1, 4.5. I'm going to export, add another one. 5.01. That's close enough. I'm happy with that. Because my power is coming in really quick, I'm just going to get rid of 3 rows of these. Get rid of the buffer. Now what you can do for the buffer is you can either use the reflectors, which will give you more cash, which is more useful, or you can use plates, which is less useful. As long as you're not going to blow up your reactor, using plates is not needed. So I'm going to use these as my buffer, and I'm going to add in another row of arrays. Okay, we're up to 9 minutes. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill in the space with capacitors. And I'm going to recalculate. So now I have 48 vents times 390.304. Gives me a grand total of 18 billion. So I'm going to export. And I'm going to start adding in some more of these cells until I get close to that. Okay, we're getting close. So I'm going to export. And I'm going to add in a few more. 18.5. That's about as close as I'm going to get. So I'm going to export, and I'm going to go to my upgrades, and I'm going to buy one of these guys and one of these guys, and I'm going to look to see if it's okay. So my power is, I don't have to sell it anymore. I'm going to go upgrade this guy for 1 trillion, and then I'm going to upgrade each of these guys. So this is up to level 6, and this is up to level 6 now. And because I've done that, now I can add more heat into my system. So I'm going to recalculate. So I have 48 vents times, actually let me see how much power I have. Okay, so I have enough cash. I think I have enough cash to get the next tier array. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to skip, I'm not going to calculate it yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this one right here with the next array. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look. So if I look, this vent can hold 35 billion, which is greater. So each one of these vents can hold more than the total that I have in heat in my system right now. So I know that I can get rid of all of these outdated vents. Then to make sure that it's not, I'm going to get rid of a bunch of these capacitors here. So to make sure that I don't decrease this value too much, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in 1 or 2 of these capacitors, maybe 3. Let's go with 3. Okay, and now I can get rid of these guys here without blowing up my reactor. And then I can reposition this back down to here. And I'm going to fill in this space with these guys. Alright, we're up to 12 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to calculate how much heat I can get rid of. So I have 4 vents times 19.885 equals 79.5 billion. So I'm going to export, and I'm going to add in more of these guys. 79. I'm getting close, so I'm going to export. Okay, that's close enough. I don't need to worry about the little bit because I'm going to be at the next stage in a second. Let's see if I have any upgrades I can get. Okay, so I need 8.5 trillion to get the next one of these combined, so I'm going to do that. And I need 20 trillion for that. So I might actually hold off on that for a second. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another, I'm going to finish off all of my my arrays. Now, by doing 2 more of these, I know that I can triple my heat. So I have 77, so I can approximately get, what's that, 200, let's say 210. I can get 210 billion. So what I'm going to do is, rather than calculate, I'm just going to use my best judgment and say that I know that I can get at least 210. Just to get some more power into my system while I'm doing that. Okay, so we didn't even come close, so I can just finish off adding in these guys now. And next I'm going to finish off adding in all of these guys, so I'm just going to shift and left click and replace all of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till I get 20 trillion because that's my next upgrade for my vents. So before I calculate, I'm just going to get the next upgrade. Okay, so it's 10 trillion each. So they're both up to level 7 now. And let me see how much this guy's going to cost. So 2 trillion for the next one of these, so I'm going to get that next. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate my maximum. So I have 24 vents again. But we're going to do that when we start the next part, so I'll see you there.